Good evening, all of you. I think hope everyone understood little bit about the diode because I'm just dumping so many things because there are so many situations are coming across that one. So I just felt like something okay if I had some information like one, two, three, four. So as far as our level is concerned, I think I just made in the end some conclusion like as forward bias increases, the width of depletion layer decreases and the forward current increases. I think this is enough for us. And the forward bias current is due to what? Due to majority carriers. I think these are the small informations are there. Just like to make you think hard. Okay, that one I just took help of what actually goes on inside. I think because maximum students they go for exact reason, and you search any book. I'm telling this one definitely sure the best books are available. Even then, there what happened we don't give information because everything comes through quantum mechanics. What I'm just summarizing it. Therefore, don't fight with the exact cause, just the content you read it and come out of this one. Because you spend any amount of time because we don't know what actually the quantum level, no? That's why you find very hard. Huh? So let me continue the forward bias. Few more, so 2, 3 points are there, then I'll summarize. Okay, now what is the expression for this forward current? Means why the graph is like this. So in this region, what will happen? A depletion layer still exists here. What about depletion layer will vanish or will be very small? You can put it here. Then the depletion layer, what will happen is a non-ohmic, and the depletion layer vanishes here. And you look at this for small change, what happen? A large change in current will be produced here. For small change in current, for small change in voltage, a large change in current. Any reason for that? Because it will not behave like a Ohm's law. You can say if it were Ohm's law, it would have been the response would have been straight line. Will I agree? The response would have been straight line here. So therefore, shall I say diode is a non-ohmic device? They can test you with the non-ohmic device. Why that non-ohmic feature? Because of depletion layer only it is. Okay, then why the graph is like this only? Why the graph? Is there any mathematical equation or simply like, okay, it has come? Yes, we do have equation. Based on that equation, what happened? The graph has taken shape like this here. Let me write the equation. Here only I'll write it. The forward current is equal to I drift into e to power of, okay, let me recollect. Okay, e to power of this will be charge barrier potential or the forward voltage by kT minus 1. And the equation, what is this I drift is what I'm saying. This I drift it is also called as high saturation. This will be of order 10 to power of minus 12, let me put it. Very small current. This drift current. This call also called as reverse saturation current. It is also called as reverse saturation current. So I think I'll write it. What is I saturation? Due to minority carriers here. So like this, the forward current account to this particular thing. So as you increase forward voltage, the graph follows based on this equation. That's why we have put it here. Okay, there's a one thing which you have to remember. I think in SU1 there are numericals are there based on this. So any possible questions can be asked here. We have even temperature of the diode. Later on I'll explain now. At the increased temperature, what happened to the curve? Because what is Q? Q is a charge. K is a Boltzmann constant. This is a forward applied voltage. This is T is a temperature of the diode. This is a fixed value, reverse saturation current. This will be some, based on the diodes, no, it will vary from 10 to power of minus 12 to 10 to power of minus 8. Or some books open, they took, if SC or my has given 10 to the power of minus 18, I think. So different books, they given value on an average, 10 to the power of minus 12 to 10, very small current that due to minority carrier current. Okay, got this? So this is about the graph, which you have to remember. And this based on this equation, any questions can come. Now, as I increase temperature, what will happen? If I increase temperature, the curve will shift. No, this is the temperature T1, T2, T3, and there's a forward voltage. Not a barrier voltage. This is a forward voltage. What happened? From where there come voltage applied across the cell it is, and there's a forward current. Now, anything about the temperature? So these are in degrees Celsius. Huh? Anything you can put it, no problem. No, anything can you say T1, T2, T3? How to? I just put like this, T1 greater than. Any reason can we put it here like? At the increased temperature. Okay, this graph, can you remember? I'll take you back to again the same diagram. Everything, I think our explanation, everything will revolve here. Earlier what happened at a given temperature, okay, the most energetic electron from the N will cross over to P, and the most energetic hole from P will cross over to the N. What about 2? What about 2? It was not having sufficient energy. It was supported by the cell only. Due to cell only, it was able to cross. On its own, it's unable to cross because of the thermal agitation. It's unable to cross. Now, at the increased temperature, along with 1, the 2 also will get energy, no? Due to increase in temperature, go back to root mean square. What is the average kinetic energy? We write 3 by 2 kT. Because this electron is like a monoatomic gas, no? So as you increase temperature, the average kinetic energy increases. Then, so this, as you increase temperature, earlier only 1 was able to cross. Get this one, and the 2 was able to cross due to the cell. Let's take some 3 I took it, no, some 4. 4, though even the cell is there, temperature is there, it was unable to cross. If I increase temperature, due to average kinetic energy increases, then it will have sufficient energy to cross. So therefore, as you increase temperature, what happened to amount of majority carriers crossing the junction will increase. If majority carrier increases for a given voltage, I'm not talking about this particular, I'm not talking about I'm going to vary voltage for a given voltage. So let's take that 1 is able to cross, 2 because of cell. There is another, say 4, which is unable to, I'll give the number. The cell energy supplied by the cell is not sufficient, so it is unable to cross. Even what will happen? Due to average kinetic energy is not sufficient. If I increase temperature anyway, 1, 2 will cross it. What happened? 4? 4 also able to cross, no? So what will happen now? For a given applied voltage, more number of majority carriers will cross the junction as you increase temperature. For a given voltage, more majority carriers. More majority carriers means more forward current. So come for this. For a given voltage, you draw a line. You have to draw a line like this. Huh? You have to draw a line like this. So for a given bias voltage, as you increase temperature, more majority carriers will cross. So therefore, shall I put T1 greater than T2 greater than T3? You have to draw a vertical line. So here for a given bias voltage at temperature T3, okay, few majority carriers were crossing. As they increase temperature, number of majority carriers crossing will increase. So will increase. So there's a reason. So like this, no. So these things are not there in most of the books. Definitely the NIT process will show interest in setting such questions here. So what is the reason we have to give? As the temperature increases, number of majority carriers crossing the junction increases for a given bias voltage or applied voltage across the diode. Yeah. For a given there's a reason, no? We have to give reason like this here. And now you can ask also questions. So like you what you said temperature increases. Then what will happen to the covalent bonds in depletion? They'll also increase. But the proportionality, if you look at the amount through which the majority flow of majority carriers increases, no, that will be superseded due to minority carrier current. Means what I mean to say that here also open as you increase temperature, more covalent bonds will break up. But as I said, they are minority, no. So definitely what happen? The flow of majority carrier will be very much greater than the flow of minority carrier. Even the drift current also will slightly increase, no doubt. If increase temperature, covalent bonds, number of covalent bonds breaking up here will increase, the drift current will increase. But if you check the amount of increase in diffusion current will be very much greater than drift current. So that the net current will increase. Because what is the net current? The difference of these two. Because they may trouble you with this one. Huh? So if you increase temperature, number of covalent bonds will break up. The drift current will also increase. But if you look at the increase in diffusion current will be very much greater than the increase in drift current. So therefore, the net IF will increase for a given voltage. You have to analyze for a given voltage. It'll a little bit easier. Fine. So there's about the temperatures like this. Huh? Okay, do remember at least they may ask reason or they may ask you graph. The curve will shift to the lower that one. It has to be. Now again, if you take the slope, so definitely what will happen to slope? A slope will change because this one. So do analyze that also. Okay, this is about the basic idea of the forward bias. Okay, now we'll go for the reverse bias. I think I'll like to do in this. I'll give that also reason. Even or let me put in simplify. Increase in diffusion current will be very much greater than the drift current due to rise in. I'm not saying drift current will change, but it'll be far negligible compared to the change in the diffusion current. There's a reason. See, if really the professor wants to test, if you ask this, only students who has really analyzed they can answer. But any exam you can't think this much here. That much I can say. You must be ready with this one. So just we don't know. Some professor he really wanted to test your concepts. He may test you all these things. Okay, keeping that safety parameter in the mind, I'm just going for the additional information. Reverse bias. What is the reverse bias? The p-type will be connected to negative terminal and n-type will be connected to positive terminal. And we have to study the characteristics graph here. So let me take the same diagram, this one. If I make diagram this much, are you able to see it clearly? Anybody reply back? Okay, then okay. Then. Because I had to write a lot of content explanation. I had to write it. Oh, let me erase most of the data first. Yeah. Let me keep this much here. Now what we are going to do, we are going to increase the reverse bias here. So as I increase reverse bias, what conditions will arise here? Okay, now again we have to analyze in the similar way. So as I increase reverse bias, so first what this cell will do, this native terminal, no? Okay, this one, it's a reverse bias. Huh? I have to change so many things. Negative terminal, positive terminal connected to the N type. Okay, this is the P type. Same I diffusion, you keep it as it is, huh? Because they're going to help us a lot. Okay, now we'll start with this. Now come for this one. So as I increase the reverse bias, there's a positive terminal connected to N type. What it does, it will directly pull the electrons here, no? And what this negative terminal do, it will inject electrons into the P type. So first we'll discuss the flow of charges here. So here, this electron, the positive terminal will directly pull the electron. So this electron will come here. This electron will come here. I think, see, there's the only way what we know to analyze the concept. Take help of electron. It'll be much easier for you than all. So here, so simplest way, this electron will take this position. Let's assume that one. This electron will take this position. So this electron will take this position. So now what will happen to majority carriers here? So shall I say they are moving away? So in what direction the electrons will be moving here? In this direction. Or majority carriers, if you want, you can write the majority carriers. They'll move away from junction. And similarly, the all I say that they'll move towards left. Sir, how come? Okay, let's take this one. This will push electron. This electron, what it will do, it will go and occupy at this position of the hole. If a hole captures electron, what do we get? We get valence electron and we don't show it, no? This electron has come here. Now what this hole will do, will pull out this valence electron. So now it has come. So look at the position of hole. So earlier I'm explaining this, try to remember. This electron, what when the moment it arrives will be captured by hole, because the electron will become minority carrier, will be captured by hole. So if a hole captures electron, we'll get valence electron, and that valence electron we don't show it, take it out. Now this valence electron, what happen, will be pulled by the hole. So therefore now the hole, what happen, will take this position. So here will be like this. Here what you see that the majority carriers, they'll move away from junction. The holes will move away from junction. The electrons will move away from junction. Then what will happen to the ions? So these ions, so shall I say they're being, don't say robbed off, they're being depleted. Again, they're being depleted of their majority carrier. So width of depletion layer will increase here, no? Width of depletion layer will increase. Agree with this? So at the width of depletion layer increases. So this about this what happens here. Now what happened to most this one energetic electron s, they're able to cross still. Earlier what happened, say like a without bias 100 were crossing. Now as I increase bias, around 50 may cross. As I keep on increase bias, what happened, the most energetic electrons they find more difficult to cross from N to P type. The most energetic hole they find more difficult to cross from P to N type. So definitely what happened to this current, as I increase the bias, the width of depletion increases. As the width of depletion layer increases, what will happen to barrier potential will increase, and what will happen to electric field strength will increase. So here O will dominate here. If you look at the electric field, it should be like this, the equation. The ratio of such that the E will increase. If E increases, what happens? More retarding force for the majority carriers. So the number of majority carriers crossing the junction keeps on decreases here. Okay, able to get this. Okay, let's come for the drift current. What will happen to this? As the width of depletion layer increases, then more number of covalent bonds will break up. I'm not saying temperature. So like if the width is say like this is say 10 micrometer, in 10 micrometer 1000 covalent bonds will break up here. Then in 20 micrometer, more number of covalent bonds will exist and more breakup will occur. That breakup making and breaking up is a natural phenomena that occurs in semiconductor. So how you have to put it, like the width of depletion layer means if for 10 micrometer, say let's say like a 1000 covalent bonds will break up here. For 20 micrometer width depletion layer, then more number of covalent bonds should break up. If more covalent bonds break up, if more covalent bonds here breaks up, I'll show some other color. This is okay. Agree this. It will be. And what about the wall? The wall will flow here. And now the covalent bond can break up here also. Not only there, it can break up here also. Let me show it. Covalent bond. Or I'll show it here. No free electrons. Already see like there is a minority carrier, this will be there, and breaking up this one. So what is the minority carrier current? Both this one, these carriers as well as this together is called as a drift current here. Okay, don't think that only this is called as a drift current. Due to movement of molecule, due to all three only it's a drift current. No, even this whole also will contribute drift current. I'll so now we'll do one thing. I'll give name. One we took it, no. Two will write it. 3, this all 4. Okay, 3 we took for there, no. 3 4 1 2. Okay, this is 5, you write it. Let me come in order. I think there I took 3, no. 3 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, now what is one? Most energetic majority carriers S. They will try to cross, but their number will decrease. What about 2? 2 will not move. How 2 will move? Even for 2 also, I had to show like this. But this is not like a majority carrier. Majority carrier I'll show by red color. Once this electron comes here, once this electron from depletion layer comes here, what will happen to it? It will become what like? Majority carrier, or what you should call that one. So it is nothing but minority carrier only. It is started moving like this, no? Okay, that majority minority time being, okay, I'll suspend that. Okay, this electron also will move. Then these electrons also will move. There's some most energetic, they'll try to move. The same thing all, there's a minority carrier. From N to P type, it will move. And similarly, there'll be electrons from P to N type, they'll be moving. And this electron either generated here or here will be moving here. So any electron generated here in this region, anywhere here, how do it will move? It will, you have to say that it will move away. Don't say that, sir, this electron is moving toward junction. These are minority. This electron which are here, they are majority here. The electrons which are coming from the other than this region, all they will become minority. Okay, clear this one? So this is what happens here. Able to get this? So shall we put like this here? As I increase the bias, first thing, what will happen to the depletion layer? Without depletion increase. How do it will increase? Because as I increase the bias, the battery will pull the majority carriers away from the junction. The battery will see that the majority carriers will move away from junction. How that happens is what I shown here. Let me keep this all forward. Finish all. The width of depletion, as width of depletion increases, more covalent bonds will break up. More covalent bonds will break up. More minority carriers know they're moving across junction. Tell me like which will be greater now. So if I go and check it now, the I drift will be greater than I diffusion. Are able to see the red color line and the green and the violet color line? So I'm only showing two lines here. What about here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Definitely which current will be more? The drift current will be more than the diffusion current. And this is called like a reverse current. How the current we have to show it? What is the direction of this reverse current? Opposite to this electron only. So the reverse current here should flow in this direction. High R, and this is called like a minority carrier current. This is purely due to diffusion. The diffusion will be greater than the drift here. Okay, no, we'll summarize things. About the story, like the first thing as bias. This is called like a applied voltage or bias. VR or reverse bias. As reverse bias increases, majority carriers move away from the junction. They're the first thing. But sir, you are showing that these are the most energetic. Due to thermal agitation, they're moving. The sequence is what you have to show it. Okay, agree this one. The sequence is what you have to show it. I'll show the like black color one. Fine. As the reverse bias increases, majority carriers move away from junction. Then next, width of depletion layer. More width of depletion layer increases. There will be increase in breaking up of covalent bonds in depletion layer. Okay, there's one thing. No, because of this, minority carrier current or drift current increases. Okay, find this one. So there's a one major reason what we can put. So if I plot the graph, let me go for the graph here. So when I plot the graph, what is showing is there's a reverse voltage, reverse bias, and there's a reverse current. This will be in milli or microampere. Okay, time being, let me write only IR. So the two parts of graph is what you have to put it now. So till here is one. Afterwards, a sudden large change in the current. This I'll call as breakdown voltage. So this is called like a reverse saturation current. Till here, what happened? We'll call this as like a I saturation. Like what I wrote no earlier. What is the order of this? This will be of order how much? Of 10 to the power of minus 12, 10 to the power of minus 9, or 10 to the power of minus 10. So what is the reverse saturation current? This will be of order. Why? Because minority carrier, no? Though number of width of depletion increases, more covalent bonds break up. Still, when you go and check it, no, this current will be of order. How much will be of order? 10 to the power of minus 9 ampere or microampere, like that. Very small current. Especially this is a very small current. This I saturation, how much you can put practically around of order micro or nano ampere. In books, they just put 10 to the power of minus 10 ampere. Okay, fine, justify. So definitely it's of no use, S no use. But you see that one? I have put a some sudden no. Again, why suddenly current increases? You look at this. So there are two things are there. You have to make observation. Look at this part. Suddenly, as I keep on increase the reverse bias, at one point what happen? A large current starts flowing. Curve. I'll put it in exact shape. No need. Just you can put some rough curve. I think till here I have to put it. Just to show some slope here. Let's have. Oh, now take it like this here. Got it, no? This will be, I think, some. So here, there's a very small of order 10. See here again, as I keep on increasing reverse bias, suddenly what happened? You can see that one. Suddenly, I'm using was suddenly. What is the breakdown voltage? Let's say 10 volt, 9.8 volt. The current is of order 10 to the power of minus 10. Suddenly, when becomes 10 volt, a large current. And if I go for small change from 10.1, the current from almost say some 10 to the power of minus 10 ampere will become suddenly 10 milliampere. Very large current will flow here. And the diode, if it is not designed properly, it will burn out. Ordinary diodes will get damaged. What I mean by damage? You'll get a smoke. It'll become ash. Large amount of heat will be generated and it'll get damaged here. This is called a breakdown. So what is that breakdown phenomena? How do it occurs? Is what we have to explain here. Now, as the voltage increases, so let me take this diagram. Yeah. Okay, let's get into this one. So as I increase the reverse bias, the breakdown, the width of depletion increases. As the width of depletion increases, more covalent bonds will break up. As the covalent bond breaks up, even what will happen to the electric field will increase. Now the electrostatic field is so high that what it will do is like it will make the charges to accelerate now. It will make the charges to accelerate. Okay, I'll switch off my phone. It is troubling me. No, let's get into this one. So as I increase the reverse bias, the width of depletion increases. As the width of depletion increases, then the amount of charge present, the charge layer in the depletion layer will increase. Let me give the some symbol X here. This one. So let me summarize here like that. As VR increases, X will increase. Okay, as VR increases, X will increase. Okay, fine. This is as X increases. So what will happen to the charged layer? The charged layer in depletion layer increases. As the charged layer in the depletion layer increases, then what will happen to, we know electric field. I think I should write this is E plus, I'll write it. Sigma by epsilon naught or sigma minus of epsilon naught here. Just Okay, no, sorry for disturbance. No, okay. As reverse bias increases, X will increase. Now, this X is something very important. X is width of depletion. I'm showing in the diagram. Then the charge layer in depletion increases. We know that more number of this blue color circles without ions will increase. No, the charge layer in depletion increases. If the charge density increases, definitely what happen? E will increase. If E increases, so what will happen to these electrons, the minority carrier, they'll experience a large amount of force, no? So let's get into the topic of this one. So what will happen is how that breakdown occurs is what I'm going to give explanation. So as this and this particular breakdown occurs due to thermal agitation. Due to thermal agitation, breakdown occurs. So because of that, what we get with respect to thermal agitation occurs. Due to first thermal agitation breakdown occurs, no? Now there's an electrostatic field is there. So how this electrostatic field is acting in this direction? So what this electrostatic field will do? I'll put it here now. It will exert a force towards right now on the electron. So this electron will experience a force in this direction, this electron. What about hole? Hole will experience force like this. This electron now will get accelerated. F equal to Q E into E. This accelerating electron, the electron get accelerated. This accelerating electron, what it does, it will go and strike another covalent bond. This accelerating electron. So when it strikes another covalent bond, so here what happened? That covalent bond will break up. Now this electron will go and strike another covalent bond. It will break up. Again, this electrostatic field is present. In the depletion layer, I'm showing it. So this will again further accelerate. Tell me, like, you see what's happening? Like this, a chain reaction again further like this. Like this, I have to keep on draw diagram. Anybody interested, you can continue for so many things. I'll stop it here. What's happening? So, some sort of chain reaction. Like this, you can keep on. Again, this will go. So one electron here, what happened? So here, this one electron. So what is doing? Producing large number of electrons. No, this is called like a Zener, or so like it's like an avalanche breakdown. What do you mean by avalanche? Avalanche. I'm using word avalanche. So this entire diagram correspond. Avalanche, all of you, avalanche. Avalanches occurs in Himalayas or in northern or southern hemisphere. So what actually avalanche means? If there's a ill snow, like a snow, that one ill. If a small balls, if they start rolling, so as it rolls open, it will pick up the ice, and the size will become big. By the time when it comes to the almost at the down of the hill, no, it become very big size. What is the big size? It can be of diameter of 50 meter. When this what happen when goes and collides, no, definitely large of lot of damage. It may start with size of cricket ball. This at the top of the as it starts rolling, no, it will pick up the snow, and what it does, it will further make the other balls to roll. Not only this bigger size, you can get plenty like this. You'll get some 10 or 15 big size snowballs. That one, that's called like avalanche. One ball what pen will make the two, it'll go and will make other two balls like that. What happen, you'll get an avalanche here. So almost all this ill what will happen within some fraction of time will collapse. Fraction of time it will collapse here. This is called like an avalanche here. The same thing happening here. So one electron what happen will liberate millions of electrons. Suddenly what happened? Now a large number of minority carriers will flow. What will happen to large number of electrons? And any electron flows what happen will be pulled like this, no? Will be pulled. and there'll be what happen? A reverse current, a large current will flow. That's why the graph. Are you getting the idea? So shall I say breakdown occurred? What do you mean by breakdown? As you increase the reverse bias, the without depletion increases. Without depletionary increases, then the charge, the amount of charge present in P and N region, this will increase. More charge, more electric field. Now the electric field is such that any covalent bond that breaks up due to thermal agitation, so the electrons which are liberated, or the carriers which are minority carriers which are liberated, even the hole also will accelerate. I am not showing it because you'll get confused here. Even the hole weapon will go and will strike covalent bonds. In this direction weapon, again more covalent bonds will break up due to movement of holes in this direction. More covalent bonds will break up due to movement of electron in this direction. Agree this? So that's why I'm showing for both hole as well as electron here. Like this, what happen? An avalanche will occur. A large number of minority carriers will flow and a large current. How much earlier it was? 10 to the power of minus 18. Here the order of current will be of milliampere. That's why I had to show it here. That IR we show like this in book. So here this is of order 10 to the power of minus 10 ampere. Here you can put it almost 40 milliampere. Look at the current. Very large, no? And because of large flow of current, it will be generated and the diode will burn out if it is not properly designed. Ordinary diodes will burn out. That's why you should never operate in breakdown region. So usually breakdown region, how much it will be? Around 10 volt we can put it. The breakdown voltage. Who will determine that breakdown voltage? For some diodes, if you take this one, a Zener diode will be 10 volt. For most of the ordinary diodes will be around 20 volt. More than 20 volt will make it. Who will determine that breakdown voltage? Again, the doping level. So width of depletion layer, one more important thing, doping level, width of depletion layer, inversely proportional to doping level. So by controlling the doping level in P and N region, what I can control the width of depletion. What is this width of depletion layer? Unbiased. I mean to say unbiased. This is unbiased width of depletion layer depends on doping level. This unbiased width of depletion layer will determine what will be the breakdown voltage. Is it okay now? This one. So therefore, shall we put here VBR depends on what? Doping level. By adjusting doping levels, we can control the VBR. Okay, there is only information, just remember it. Need not to bother. Okay, got this one. So this is about the avalanche breakdown. One more process will occur. What is the Zener breakdown? So in Zener breakdown, what happens? As I increase the reverse bias, then same thing, the width of depletion layer increases. As the width of depletion increases, the charge layer in the depletion will increase, the electric will increase. Now the electrostatic force will be so strong that it will directly pull the valence electrons from the valence band. If it pulls valence electron from valence band, what do you get? One hole and one free electron. So the reverse thing is what happening. If any free electron is captured by hole, we'll get valence electron. Okay, that one. If a valence electron pulled by valence band, what do you get? One hole and one free electron. So here, so what is the next is called as a Zener breakdown. Now what we have is called like a avalanche breakdown. Next breakdown is what I'll call as Zener breakdown. In Zener breakdown, what happens is, as we increase the reverse bias, I think I can write a small explanation. It'll be easier for you. First thing, as the reverse bias increases, width of depletion layer X increases. If the width of depletion layer increases, then sigma plus and sigma minus increases. Then we know that the electric field is contributed by sum of both. No, actually, depends on both. Or if you want, you can write plus because you know electrostatics. This one, I think I'll write plus here because again. No. No, E will increase, so E increases. Now come for this one. So this is the covalent bond. So what this, I think, okay, I'll give one small diagram here. There's a covalent bond. There's an electric field. So this covalent, these electrons open, they'll be binded, no, by covalent bond force. So I'll covalent bond force, I'll show by this one. Now this electron, they'll experience a force. I think I have to draw a bigger diagram. Just it's a diagrammatic explanation to make you understand. Okay, there's a covalent bond. There's a valence electron. It will be binded. Oh, no, there's an electric field. It is increasing, no? Now the value will be such that at one instant what happens, this Fe will become greater than covalent bond force. What is this Fe? Fe is equal to QE into E. When Fe becomes greater than FCBV, covalent bond force, then this covalent bond will break up and then we'll get a hole. Directly it will pull up. Like this, what happened? From millions of covalent bond, directly this electrostatic field will pull the valence electron from the valence band. And it plays in conduction band. What do you get if electron jumps from valence band to conduction band? We get one hole as well as one free electron in the conduction band. Now this electron, if it makes a transition here like this, so what do we get in place of electron? We'll get one hole as well as one free electron. I don't know how to show this. Okay, I think here I cannot. At the most, I think I can show this much. If valence electron, who will pull up this from the valence band? This particular thing. So the electrostatic field in the depletion will directly pull the valence electron from valence band to conduction band. If electron jumps from valence band to conduction band, it will become free electron, and vacancy created by valence electron in valence band will become hole. Like that, what happen will come. Like that, what happen? This electrostatic field in the depletion will directly pull the valence electron from the valence band, and will get a large number of, again, minority carriers will be generated and the current will be more. This is a Zener breakdown. I think avalanche breakdown, Zener breakdown, two different phenomena. Now you ask question, sir, which one will occur? For lower voltages, so means first, actually, if you take the reverse bias, no, this one. So here, let me put it here now. So as E increases, so next what will happen? So so E increases, this high electric field will directly pull valence electrons from valence band and place it in conduction band. Okay, the main reason, the last one, place it in conduction band. As a result, a minority carriers are generated. Not one, millions of, like this, millions of, from millions of covalent bond, the electrostatic field in depletion layer. Where do this occur? Everything in depletion layer are generated in depressed. Suddenly what happened? The electrostatic field will start pulling the valence electron from the valence band. So we'll get one free electron, one hole. So like this, millions of minute is generated, a large current flows. Next question comes, so which will occur first? You have to ask question, avalanche breakdown, Zener breakdown. Ordinary diode, both will occur. For Zener diode, what happen? They'll be designed such a way that one after the other will occur. So I'll give the graph. There's a graph, we can take it. Only red color should be there. This is the Zener breakdown. This is a avalanche breakdown. For some of the diodes, often they are designed in such a way that both will occur simultaneously. Usually Zener breakdown first will occur, then avalanche breakdown. Go this, and for some of the diodes, both will take place simultaneously. So nothing wrong. Huh? You can just this one. So this is called like a breakdown. So if they, what's happened to diode, ordinary diode will burn out. Usually this breakdown voltage will be adjusted for 20 volt for ordinary diode. For Zener diodes, next what we did, take the applications, no, it will be adjusted for lower values. Can we adjust this breakdown voltage? Yes, it depends on doping level. This is what happens in the reverse breakdown. This one, so avalanche breakdown, and this is very important. Okay, this is about the theoretical idea of the reverse bias. Any doubt, if you want, you can clarify, because this completes the conceptual part. Here afterwards, what we do is numerical. Doesn't need all this one. Huh? Doesn't need all this one. Means in numerical, what actually happens? If a diode is forward biased, what to do? How to do the problem? If the diode is reverse biased, what to do? What to do with problem? So if the diode is forward biased, depletion layer is minimum, almost you can say zero resistance by the diode. So therefore, in the numerical thought, our approach will be first like a forward bias. These approximations I'll tell and I'll finish off. Then you can clarify your doubts. Huh? Anything. Now first we'll discuss like forward bias. So there's a symbol what we use for diode, and there's a cell, and always open will keep one resistor in series to protect the diode from higher voltages. There's a cell, that one. So now if nothing is written by diode and it's a forward bias, you can see that the EMF of cell is so adjusted that it is forward bias. Then what you should do, the first approximation where diode is there, replace with a short circuit. Then what is the current? Forward current. Then what is IF? IF should be equal to how much? This IF should be equal to V by RS. I'll write it E, because we are familiar with E, no? This much only. Sir, what to do? Depletion and nothing. You're not showing anything. Just leave it. So here what happens? Short circuit. Ideal diode this is. Next, nearby, there's the first approximation. Second approximation, what it says, if a diode, nearby diode, if it is written like this, 0.7 volt, and the diode is forward biased, then what you should replace? You should replace the diode with a polarity symbol like this. This is the barrier potential, no? Say 2 volt I applied. Then what is the expression for forward current? This forward current is given by E minus VB by RS. This is the second approximation. What is this barrier potential? Nearby diode, if they write 0.7, then replace with a cell. I think this we know it's a P type, this is N type. You should replace the polarity like this. Then calculate the current. This one. The third approximation, what it says is like if a diode, nearby diode, if they write, I wrote 0.4, no? Okay, or 0.7 only, right? And if they write some 10 ohm, okay, you do later on calculation. Okay, this is the third approximation. What is the third approximation? Is telling that nearby diode, if they write 10 ohm and 0.7, this is a barrier potential. So what you should do, you should replace with a cell. This is a barrier potential, and this is a forward resistance. What is this? RF. It all depends upon the information what they give. Based on that, you should replace a diode and solve the problem. So what is the forward current in this case now? So this IF should be equal to E minus VB by RF plus RS. I think you know enough of KCL, KVL. Directly I'm writing that one. These are the third approximations. If a diode is forward bias, replace with a short circuit. Finish short. Then apply the like KCL, KVL or Ohm's law and get the thing. If the diode is again forward bias and if they write it some 0.7 or no, then replace the barrier potential, the diode with a battery equal to what should be the EMF of the battery equal to barrier potential. Then again apply KVL, KCL and solve the problem. If the diode is reverse bias, what to do? Next question comes. If the diode is reverse bias, the reverse bias, I'll show it here. If the diode is reverse biased, what do you mean by reverse bias? The negative terminal of battery connected to p-type, positive terminal to this one. Then what to do? Replace diode with a open circuit. But a small current will flow. That current will be of order how much? So breakdown current, no, not at breakdown. No. A small current will flow. That will be a reverse saturation current. It will be of order 10 to the power of minus 10, minus 8. Of that order it will be. And that reverse saturation current is due to what? Due to minority carrier. Means you have to ask question like in the reverse bias, where is the graph? Okay, no, there's a graph. No, in the reverse bias, where is the graph? We didn't plot graph. No, in the reverse bias, come for this one. No. What about the diffusion current here? The diffusion current here almost negligible. Here what mean? The diffusion current will be there. Here the diffusion current is almost zero. So no diffusion current should exist here. Only what is this current? Means I mean to say this current is due to what? Due to minority carrier only, but their number will be very large. And diffusion current is almost zero here. What about here? Diffusion current will be very small value. And still the drift current will be greater than diffusion current. Diffusion current here is almost zero. A nearby diagram. And what about here? At breakdown, no question of diffusion current. I'll leave it. Here open the drift current will be greater than diffusion current. Okay, means now when it is reverse bias, definitely what will happen? What you can see here? Where is the graph? Oh, okay, no, I think here, no. Will there be any current? Yes, there will be reverse saturation current. Will be flowing here. And what is this total current is due to what? Due to I diffusion, high drift minus I diffusion. So altogether what happened? That current is due to what, like the difference of that. We do even the diffusion current will be very small. You can neglect it. You can take it only minority carrier. And that current is due to what? Due to holes and also the electron. Minority carrier holes, minority carrier electrons only what that I saturation. They'll be very small since of order 10 to the power of minus 10. For our applications, we call that is almost no current. If no current flows, open circuit. Okay, clear this one, reverse bias diode. We replace with an open circuit here. So you get plenty of numericals. Where reverse bias, put open circuit. Where all forward bias, short circuit. Is it okay? I think you have plenty of numericals. Today, if you want, you can try that one. Nothing to do. If they write anything 0.7, replace with a cell and work out here. So these are the sum, what we have the approximations like this. When you are, I think now you can see that when you are solving this, when you are writing this IF, do you need anything like a depletion layer? Come out of now everything, what all I thought you can forget. When you're writing this equation for forward current, when you're solving this such numerical, do you need anything about diode idea? Nothing, no. Sir, I don't know depletion layer. Sir, I don't know P type. I don't know N type. I don't know what is hole, what is electron. Nothing, no. Just applying KCL, KVL. So numerical solving is nothing to do with theory what we learned. Just only what happened. Diode forward by short circuit, reverse by open circuit. If they ask you anything conceptual, you have to go back to the thing what today I dumped. Otherwise, what happened? Numericals, nothing to do. Getting the idea now? So you can start doing numericals today. So you can just feel like, okay, you can manage all this. Nothing is there. Just apply KCL, KVL. If there more than one loop is there, apply more than loop method. You know enough of current intensity. Go back to current intensity and analyze. Wherever diode is there, see what you should replace with a diode. It all depends upon the information given. Okay, I agree this. I think from tomorrow you can start enjoying. I won't dump anything like this whole electron or all the diagrams. We'll be discussing numericals of this circuit type. Okay, fine. I think I'll stop the class. Any doubt you can clarify. I'll wait. Anybody, if you're having a doubt, you can clarify it. Any doubt, please clarify because so much of information today I had dumped. Okay, I'll stop the class. Okay, thank you all of you.